The media says the Alberta independence movement is just an online phenomenon. Then this happened.
Alberta has outgrown Canada. Canada no longer works for Alberta.
I think in reality, let's be honest, it's only growing in momentum. So the more obstacles that the other side wants to put in our path, I think the harder we're going to dig our heels in and prove them wrong.
The support we're seeing in the real world is way beyond anything you would think you could see online.
Well, here's another inconvenient fact for the people insisting Alberta's independence movement exists only on social media. Yeah, mainstream media, I'm looking at you. I was at Ranchman's Cookhouse in Calgary on Sunday for Keith Wilson's Let Alberta Decide Stampede breakfast. And let me tell you, this thing was not a hashtag. It was packed.
We sold out the first 500 within about 30 hours. And then we talked to the venue, and the Ranchman's been amazing. Very, very supportive.
About 1,000 Albertans got there early and then filled the place for what turned into one of the biggest public events of the referendum campaign so far. And here's the remarkable part. This breakfast wasn't planned months in advance. Keith told the crowd it was only organized on June 26th. The first 500 tickets were snapped up in about 30 hours. Demand was so overwhelming, they doubled capacity to roughly 1,000 people, and then that sold out too. Think about it. 1,000 people in the middle of Stampede at a last-minute political event about Alberta's future. Corey Morgan, why are you here today?
Well, how could I not be here? This is a who's who of the Alberta independence movement all in one spot, along with, 900 regular Albertans and Calgarians coming out. I mean, I couldn't miss this for the world.
Only getting started. Only getting started. This movement, especially today with Let Alberta Decide, is reaching people that haven't really considered Alberta as an option, as an independent nation. And there's some good arguments to be had from very sensible, very rational people, and a very calm and respectful manner. And we're just getting started.
Gentlemen, tell me what you think about the momentum of the independence movement. The mainstream media says that this is a thing that largely lives online, but this doesn't look all that online to me.
This is definitely not online. And one of the things I've said since day one is this is not even the water cooler talk. This is beyond that. There are so many people talking about this, and if you're not talking about it, chances are you're still going to be voting for option number 2 come October 12th or October 19th because it's grown that big.
Well, there's a different culture here in Alberta than there is in British Columbia, and then there is in Ontario, and definitely the Maritimes. And so I do not believe we're at an optimal level. And I'll give one really practical, somewhat technical example. If you're the governor of the Bank of Canada and you have to set the interest rate, and the Alberta economy is on fire and really growing, you're going to want to increase interest rates. But if the Central Canada economy is in depression or recession, you're going to want to decrease interest rates. See now how you're compromised? Now imagine you're the governor of the Bank of Alberta and I'm the governor of the Bank of, for example, Ontario. You'll be able to make an optimal decision and I'll be able to make one. So I could give many more examples of how we're constantly compromising and sacrificing one region for another and not making optimal political and economic decisions.
If you've ever been to Calgary during Stampede Week, you know that's no small feat. People have no shortage of things they could be doing, yet they chose to spend their Sunday morning talking about Alberta's future. And I was there. People were lining up before the doors even opened. Ranchman's was shoulder to shoulder with Albertans from every corner of the province, families, seniors, young people, ranchers, influencers, tradespeople, small business owners, volunteers, ordinary Albertans who have decided they are tired of being told to sit down and accept Ottawa's version of what's best for them.
We're going to have a good time today, but may I welcome Tanya Clemens and Keith Wilson.
The energy in the room was impossible to miss. Keith took to the stage and reminded everyone how quickly the event had come together.
And we sold out in a grand total of 5 days. Just over 3 weeks ago we launched, or just under 3 weeks ago we launched our campaign. And we've already raised almost $250,000, almost $250,000. What that tells you is momentum is real. And you are real. There are people that want the population to believe that this movement is fading or isn't real, look around you. You are the future of Alberta. We can do this.
And judging by the applause, that wasn't just a slogan. This breakfast also marked the launch of the Let Alberta Decide's province-wide lawn sign campaign. Thousands of referendum signs are now making their way into communities across Alberta. And that's important because political movements aren't built on tweets or posts. They're built on people. People who volunteer, people who organize, people who knock on doors, people who show up. That's exactly what we're seeing.
There could have been 5,000 people out to this if the space was here. There's no doubt. This is the event of the whole Stampede. Everybody thought it's the conservative thing with the tired old stuff out of Pierre. And hey, good on ya. I know it's a tradition, but this is where the energy was, this Stampede, the perfect way to end it.
I think in reality, let's be honest, it's only growing in momentum. So the more obstacles that the other side wants to put in our path, I think the harder we're going to dig our heels in and prove them wrong.
The support we're seeing in the real world is way beyond anything you would think you could see online. Whoever's saying that we are an online movement obviously are spending all their time online, because if you're in the real world, you see a totally different picture of what's going on right now.
4 months, Albertans have been attending town halls, sometimes 2 in one evening. Volunteers have been handing out signs almost every day. More than 7,000 volunteers collected over 300,000 signatures in the dead of winter to force this conversation into the political agenda. Now they're filing into banquet halls. And yet, if you listen to some of the legacy media, you'd think that none of this was happening at all.
And the reason why we're going to win Option 2 vote on October 19th is because Alberta can do better. We know we can do better. We can do better for our kids. We can do better for our seniors. We can do better for the safety of our communities. We can do better for preserving our culture. We can do better economically if we can free ourselves from the arbitrary control called Ottawa.
Remember all those stories claiming Alberta's independence movement is mostly living online? Really? Because that's not what I saw, and that's not what I see in the real world. I saw 1,000 people give up a Stampede Sunday to stand shoulder to shoulder because they believe Albertans deserve the right to decide their own future. Now, whether you support independence or oppose it, that's not really the point. The point is that this movement is real, and you're being lied to by the mainstream media. It exists in packed community centers, in parade lineups, in volunteer sign crews, and now it exists in sold-out events that have to double capacity because so many Albertans want to attend. That's grassroots.
You are a sign juggernaut in your own right. Tell us how people can find out about your third-party advertising.
Sure, yeah. This pathway to independence, it's been astounding. I mean, we've raised over 6 figures now. We put out 12,000 lawn signs, a couple hundred 4x8s. Check out Pathway to Independence, or actually CoreyMorgan.com, and you can get in the long, terribly disorganized lineup, but we'll get a sign to everybody yet.
You know, Elon Musk is trying to do something that was never done before. He's trying to put humans on Mars. So the range of unknowns he has is unbelievable, right? Rumsfeld, the old Secretary of Defense in the United States, once gave a talk, and he talked about there's known knowns, known unknowns, and unknown unknowns. This situation that Alberta faces, to transition from a province to a country, they're all knowns. We know that we're going to need to deal with currency. We know that when you arrive at the Calgary International Airport, there needs to be a border and customs agent there. So we can easily transition them onto our payroll, change their flag from a Canadian flag on their uniform to an Alberta flag. We know we're going to need a passport office. We have 2 of them in Edmonton and Calgary. Both of them have passport printing machines. We can get a value on the passport printing machine and buy it from the government of Canada. If they don't want to sell it to us, we can say, fine, we'll find out who manufactures them, we'll buy one ourselves, right? So all of the things that the government of Canada currently delivers are known. They're known. They're being delivered right this minute, right? So it's not like Elon going, oh boy, how are we going to resupply the humans, on Mars?
Town halls every night.
If they're there, we're there, right? If we can be there.
And flags everywhere.
Flags.
You know what? We're seeing a lot more. I've been driving back into BC a couple of times, and there's a lot of Canadian flags out there, but there's a lot of Alberta flags right up until the border and even into BC.
And lawn signs. Lawn signs have been the new trading card. We've all got lawn signs. We got one of Rebels. I got a stack of 10 of them on my front yard right now that I built last night.
You don't accidentally organize 1,000 people in less than 3 weeks. You don't collect 300,000 signatures by simply clicking like. You don't fill Ranchmans during Stampede because of an algorithm. You do it because there's genuine public interest in change. Whether the political class likes it or not, Albertans are having this conversation.
Alberta has outgrown Canada. Canada no longer works for Alberta. Our kids and our grandkids will have a better, more prosperous, successful life if we can free ourselves from the arbitrary control of Ottawa.
They're showing up in person, they're bringing friends, they're bringing their families, and they're demanding something that should never have been controversial in the first place: the chance to decide their own future. Because that's democracy. And from what I witnessed firsthand on Sunday, this movement isn't slowing down. It's just getting started.
How do people donate to your third-party advertiser, which appears to be following all the rules dutifully?
Well, we could sure use some help. We've got ambitious plans. We're up against tremendous forces. We're up against the government of Canada. We're up against other things. If people could go to letalbertadecide.com, letalbertadecide.com, and very easy push buttons there to do your donations, to donate whatever you can. We'd be grateful. Donate today if you can. If you can't, donate tomorrow. And if you can't, donate next week. But we can sure use your help. We're going to keep generating tremendous results here, building the momentum, and we're going to win this on October 19th with your help.
For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. To see more reports just like this one from on the ground inside the independence movement, please go to independencereports.com.